What would you say are some of the biggest skills gaps that you're seeing today?
Yeah, we did it. We recently did a study where we looked at 2 million resumes and 2 million job postings to try to get an understanding of what are the skills that are really in demand, and then are they showing up in resumes? What we saw in three-quarters of the job postings, they were focused on communication, collaboration, creativity skills. When we looked at the resumes, it was the exact opposite. Only a quarter highlighted those particular skills. Doesn't mean that the folks applying for the jobs didn't have those skills, but they may not have known how to highlight them and indicate that they were important. We hear from the World Economic Forum, from The Economist, from all sorts of different organizations that these essential skills, what we used to call soft skills, are what really matters. We know that CEOs are nervous. An IBM study about CEOs highlighted that, in fact, they're not seeing the kinds of skills that they need in the workplace, and having a workforce that's really ready for change is what keeps them up at night. So I think we see that these are the skills that really matter. They're also really challenging to teach. And they aren't things that you can memorize or you can learn from, that you can demonstrate on a standardized test. They're things that require that you dive in, that you try something, that you work on a problem where there's more than one right answer, or maybe no one has found the answer to it yet.
What would you say are some of the biggest advantages and disadvantages of remote learning and remote working?
While there were lots of advantages to being and discover that we discovered and didn't necessarily know would be true, that you could work globally, that all sorts of people could participate and engage. It was easier to pull people together. One of the challenges I found was around generating new ideas and doing that in a group. I'm used to doing that in person, and I love the opportunity to spend more time that's not just in your 1 hour, 50-minute meeting, but lets you expand a bit. I think there's something about reading a room and getting feedback. So many educators this year taught to blank Zoom boxes where they couldn't see the people and couldn't see their students and how their students were reacting. And so I think that sense of engagement is really challenging. We worked around that and found, I think, some interesting ways to do that. I saw educators, Stanford had a Zoom call where all of the students in the lecture were up on the wall. And so you could see hundreds of students and actually get a sense of what's happening in the room. But that's not typical. And I think there are things I'm really looking forward to. But I wonder if it means we need to be at work physically all the time, or if we discover that the key things, the places where we're starting something new, we're getting to know someone for the first time, we're trying to coach someone on something that's really challenging. Many of those things are easier to do in person, where you can see someone's body language better. You can really get a sense of what they're thinking. There's even just more time to explore. So I'm very much looking forward to going back in person. But I expect that there'll be things that we hold on to from this, and ways in which we will continue to support learning that's asynchronous, that is available for folks at the time that makes the most sense for them, in the modality that makes the most sense for them. But I do think building community, while it's possible to do online, it's harder, that sometimes that face-to-face really matters.